أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Inshallah, today we will complete the study of Surah AnNur. In the previous episode, we were discussing the topics and themes of the Surah. So, we continue from the topic. Those who spread news and evil rumors and propagate wickedness in the Muslim community deserve punishment and not encouragement. A general principle was laid down that relations in the Muslim community should be based on good faith and not on suspicion. Everyone should be treated as innocent unless he is proved to be guilty and vice versa. The people were forbidden to enter the houses of others unceremoniously and were instructed to take permission for this. Both men and women were instructed to lower their gaze and forbidden to cast glances or make eyes at each other. Women were enjoined to cover their heads and breasts even inside their houses. Women were forbidden to appear with makeup before other men except their servants or such relatives with whom their marriage is prohibited. They were enjoined to hide their makeups when they went out of their houses and even forbidden to put on dangling ornaments while they moved out of their houses. Marriage was encouraged and enjoined even for slaves and slave girls. For unmarried people, help bred indecency. The institution of slavery was discouraged, and the owners and other people were enjoined to give financial help to the slaves to earn their freedom under the law of mukatabat. Prostitution by slave girls was forbidden in the first instance, for prostitution in Arabia was confined to this class alone. This in fact implied the legal prohibition of prostitution. Sanctity of privacy in home life was enjoined even for servants and underage children, including one's own. They were enjoined not to enter the private rooms of any man or woman without permission, especially in the morning, at noon, and at night. Old women were given the concession that they could set aside their head covers within their houses but should refrain from display of adornments. Even they were told that it was better for them to keep themselves covered with head wrappers. The blind, lame, crippled, and sick persons were allowed to take any article of food from the houses of other people without permission, for it was not to be treated like theft and cheating, which were cognizable. On the other hand, the Muslims were encouraged to develop mutual relationships by taking their meals together, and the nearest relatives and intimate friends were allowed to take their meals in each other's house without any formal invitation. This was to produce mutual affection and sincere relationship between them to counteract any future mischief. Side by side with these instructions, clear signs of the believers and the hypocrites were stated to enable every Muslim to discriminate between the two. At the same time, the community was bound together by adopting disciplinary measures in order to make it stronger and firmer than it was at the time, so as to discourage the enemies from creating mischief in it. Above all, the most conspicuous thing about this discourse is that it is free from the bitterness which inevitably follows such shameful and absurd attacks. Instead of showing any wrath at this provocation, the discourse prescribes some laws and regulations and enjoins reformative commandments and issues wise instructions that were required at the time for the education and training of the community. Incidentally, this teaches us how to deal with such provocative mischiefs coolly, wisely, and generously. At the same time, it is clear proof that this is not the word of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but of a being who is observing all human conditions and affairs from the highest level and guiding mankind without any personal prejudices, feelings, and leanings. Had this been the word of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, there would have been at least some tinge of natural bitterness in spite of his great generosity and forbearance, for it is but human that a noble man naturally become enraged when his own honor is attacked in this mean manner. So, viewers, we have completed our roundup for the Surah AnNur. Alhamdulillah. Hopefully, you will like it and we will learn a lot from this explanation. May Allah bless us to follow all the instructions given in this surah with letter and spirit. Please keep watching and stay connected to Jameel TV. Subscribe it and share it with others as well. Thank you.